Is Mike Trout on the phone?
Mike Trout's on the phone right now.
The American League of the American League most valuable player from the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim?
Valuable player.
Mike Trout, what exit are you from New Jersey?
27 on 55.
Right? See, now, New Jersey, I'd sometimes get upset when we ask what exit you're from, but that's truly, Mike Trout, a legitimate question for people from New Jersey, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so, growing up in South Jersey, you became an Eagles fan. Is that the case?
Oh, yeah. Big Eagles fan.
No kidding. So, who's your favorite Eagles player of all time?
Favorite Eagles all time? That's a tough one. I like Dawkins.
Brian Dawkins. I'll tell you what, he's one of those guys like Hines Ward, Steve Smith, who can always play for me. If I was starting a team, I would always take somebody like Brian Dawkins, Mike.
Yeah, I just love the way he was running around the field and hitting people.
Did you ever play football?
I played in high school for a little bit, but I was mainly basketball and baseball.
Well, clearly you made the right choice, Mike. There's no doubt about that. So what do you think of your Philadelphia Eagles so far right now? 7-3, tied with the Cowboys atop the NFC East. What do you make of the Eagles season so far?
Yeah, it's, we've had our ups and downs, but, we can't complain. We're they're in first place, and, yeah, I look forward to going to games. It could be easily in the other direction. Chip's doing a great job, running that team, and, it looks like they're, besides this last week, it was tough one to watch this week. But there's always you got to turn the page and get them next week.
Do you believe in Sanchez, Mike Trout?
Yeah, he looks good. He couldn't really do much, against Rodgers, obviously, because the way it was pretty ridiculous what he was doing to our defense, but. It's what we have, and we gotta go with it.
I'm on the phone with the Hank Aaron Award winner of 2014, also the reigning most valuable player of the American League from the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, Mike Trout. So, how far do you think the Eagles can go this year, Mike?
Well, I hope they go to the Super Bowl. As a fan, you always want to try to, root for your team to go as far as you can, and. I hope they win the Super Bowl.
Well, I know you hope, but I mean, the realities of professional sports. It's one of those things that you never know. Do you think that they have what it takes to actually do it, from your eye test?
I don't like saying bad stuff about my team, so I got to go. Yeah, I mean,
all right.
It's just getting playing good at the right time. I think that's the big thing. They got a lot of when Foles went down and Sanchez stepped in. He's got big shoes to fill, and just go from there.
Yeah. How many fantasy leagues are you in, Mike?
I'm in 3.
Wow. Okay. So So what are your team names? What are the 3 Mike Trout fantasy football team names?
2 names. I don't really have any. Like Team Trout. I don't really
Team Trout. You don't get creative? Yeah. You don't get creative?
No, I don't get creative. No.
Okay. So which Team Trout is best?
Team Trout is best. My one league with my buddies, I am 7-4, and with the Angels, I'm 6-4, and I just tied this week for the first time.
6-4-1. Who's in the Angels league with you, Mike?
There's a group of guys. I think it's Weaver, Hank Conger, Freeze, Garrett Richards, Jepson, Chris Iannetta, Joe Thatcher, Houston Street.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's a 10-man team.
Okay.
I think Mike Marin, and that might be it.
So who do you have on that roster in the Angels league, Mike?
Who do my team right now?
Yes, in the Angels league.
It was Nick Foles.
You homer.
But he went down, so I had a backup. I got Cam Newton, Marshawn Lynch.
Okay.
My second back is I got Asiata and Trey Mason for my second back. And
nice
I got
pickup.
My receivers, I have Demarius Thomas, Roddy White, Jordan Matthews from the Eagles, And I just got, well, I had him all year. Josh Gordon, he comes back this week. I'm pretty pumped about
you've been stashing him, Mike? You stashed Gordon?
Oh, yeah. I've been telling everybody, too, text them, when playoffs start, he's going to come back. They're like, oh, no. And then, hey, what do you know? He's coming back this week.
He is coming back this week against Atlanta, and he's going to be ready to roll, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, and the winner of this league gets Giancarlo Stanton's contract, correct?
What this?
Well, Mike, you just have to bide your time, right? Whenever there's a house that gets sold in my neighborhood for an absurd amount of money, more than whatever I would absolutely think it's worth, I'm like, way to go. You sell for that much. Do you feel the same way when you see Giancarlo's contract, Mike?
I'm just happy. I'm happy for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's come a long way over in Florida, and just what a great guy, and he deserves every bit of it.
Yeah, $325 million. That is an absurd amount of money. That would be a great fantasy prize, don't you think?
Oh yeah,
Mike?
Definitely. I would definitely play in that league.
Okay, so good luck to you in that one. 6-4-1. That puts you probably in a playoff bracket right now.
Yeah, I think I'm in second place.
Who's in first?
First place is Hank Congery, 7-4.
Are you a message board trash talker? That doesn't sound like you, though, Mike, right? You're not trash talking in this, are you?
Nah, it gets a little heated with my roommate, Garrett, when we play each other. That's another story. He's 0-10.
What?
Well, he just won this week. First win, 1-11, 1-10.
So he's 1-10. Garrett Richards, who had one of the best seasons for your team and for him professionally. It does not match in his fantasy football playing, is what you're saying.
No. And the best part about it is when we had the draft, he said he came up to me about a day before and he goes, Mike, I got a great plan for this draft. I'm like, all right, let's see how it plays out. And I don't think it played out too well.
Yeah, you should tell him, Mike. This is the line you should tell him, is that the number of fantasy wins should not be lower than his ERA. That should not be the case. Use that line and say it's from me, will you please?
All right, I will.
Yeah, he's the Raiders of your fantasy league. Oh my gosh. Mike, thanks for calling in. I appreciate this. I hope this is not the first time. I'd love to check back in with you how you did in your fantasy season and on the Philadelphia Eagles, and of course talk a little baseball with you when we get the chance.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.